Hey, playa, school is right around the corner, which means you're gonna have to jump back into being social, starting conversations, talking to people, something you probably haven't done most of the summer. But don't worry, in this video, I'm gonna share 5 common mistakes that a lot of people make when they start conversations at the beginning of the school year. Stay tuned. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you wanna learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. Now look, starting a conversation with someone is never an easy thing to do, but it's particularly harder when you're going back to school because you haven't seen these people for a few months and there's this expectation that things are just going to kind of go back to normal and you guys are going to start talking again. And this is generally the first mistake that a lot of people make. They stay too quiet when they first start school. I made this mistake all the time whenever I would start a new grade. I would keep to myself, I wouldn't really talk to people, and that first week is crucial if you want to kind of get back into the ebb and flow of things. Especially if you're starting a new grade with new kids in it that you don't really know. You don't really want to get the label of the quiet kid because I had that label for tons of years. And a lot of times when I finally did speak out or actually talk to people, they were like, wow, I didn't know you actually spoke. You're always so quiet. And you might be thinking, well, that's easier said than done. I'm just naturally a quiet person, so I don't really start conversations. I'm too awkward or shy. I hope that other people start them with me, but I want you to start changing that little by little, and this is how I think you could do it. First, think about what you all have in common. You all just came back from summer break, so there is something there to talk about, even if you just sat at home all the time and played video games. You can either just share what you did over the summer, or you can ask that other person what they did over the summer. You have an instant conversation built into the model of coming back to school. And second, if there's a brand new person that you've never seen before or just someone coming in from a different class, you can always ask them one of my 20 icebreaker conversation starters. In fact, I'll link it up over here. That's going to help you kind of get into the process of learning about their hobbies and their interests. Now, the second thing you might find yourself doing when you're carrying that conversation is constantly interrupting them out of nervousness. This is something that naturally happens when you just don't know what to talk about, or you are so excited to talk about something that you keep cutting them off. Interrupting someone out of nervousness might look something like this. Hey, how's it going? How was your summer? Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Did you do something fun? Oh yeah, I did a lot of cool things. Oh, sorry, you were saying. Yeah, so what because I did a lot of, I'm sorry, you talk first. No, it's fine, you talk first. I was just going to tell you about, but you tell me, tell me what you did. Okay. Just go. Just talk. Now, a lot of the times, the reason why we do this, the reason why we interrupt people in the middle of them talking, or we just kind of stumble over our own words as we're kind of telling them something, is because we don't really have a complete thought that we feel confident enough to share. Sometimes we start to half share, but then we get afraid that they're not going to care about what we're talking about, or they have a better and stronger story to tell, so we kind of silence ourselves. I think if you're someone that constantly runs into this situation, the best thing for you to do is to say your thought clearly and confidently, and then to practice active listening. You might want to say, hey, I want to tell you a story about what happened to me this summer, but I want to hear about your summer first. And then you just kind of stay quiet. Let them talk. Let them share their story. And when it's finally your time to talk, the third thing you want to make sure that you don't do is brag about yourself in the conversation. Let's say you did something really awesome and really just fun this summer, and you want to tell someone. Well, bragging about it might be rubbing it in their face, telling them, oh wow, you had a really boring summer, but me, I did something really cool. Now, sometimes we brag about things and we don't even really know it, but what's the difference between a humble brag and an actual brag? A full-on, I'm rubbing it in your face. Let me explain. If you did something really cool this summer, don't be afraid to share it. I think in general, people want to hear about the cool stories and experiences you had, but if you're kind of telling it in a way that's making them feel worse about themselves, you're telling them that you're really cool and you're really popular and you're really awesome in relation to them not doing something as cool or popular as awesome, this is when it starts to take a turn into bragging. You're trying to show that person that, hey, you're better than them because you made a better use of your time. But sometimes just hanging out and chilling all summer is exactly what that person needed. So it's not really fair to always compare your experience to someone else. You might think that by bragging about the things that you did, by trying to make yourself look cooler, people are going to care about you more, but they're just going to see right through that and they're going to feel like you're comparing yourself to them. And no one ever wants wants to feel that way. So as you talk to that person and just get up to date on what they did over the summer, how their experience was, make sure to not make this fourth fatal mistake. A lot of people tend to do this, but they like to linger around after the conversation has kind of already hit that lull point. You know exactly what I mean. You're talking to someone and the conversation just kind of takes a turn like this. So it was really awesome. Me and my friends went to Disney and saw Galaxy's Edge, which was so cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's cool you went to Disney. Cool. What about you? Did you do anything cool over the summer? I didn't really do anything cool. I just kind of hung out at home. Really nothing special. Yeah, I mean, I just hung out too after that. That's really all I did. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's cool you went to Disney. Cool. Yeah, cool, man. Cool. That's cool. Sometimes we feel the need to make a conversation go on longer than it needs to, rather than cutting it short, keeping it sweet, and really just using the time that we're actually talking to the person as the moment to connect with them. A lot of times we're trying to milk out as much as we can to really make that conversation special. And the truth is, a conversation is only as special as long as it's providing value to both people in it. If you kind of run out of things to talk about, if you don't know what to say, it's okay to say, hey, it was cool catching up with you. We'll run into each other again and hopefully I'll see you later. Saying something as simple as that signals to the other person, hey, I recognize that we ran out of things to talk about. We don't have to stand here and continue to be awkward to try to find something to talk about. We can go our separate ways and be okay with what we talked about. The other person is already thinking this. In their own mind, they're asking themselves, what can we talk about to continue the conversation? So the moment someone steps in and kind of brings it to an end, both people are going to feel that sense of relief. So since you're the one watching this video right now, you're the one learning how to deal with these conversational situations, I think it's on you to put it into practice. And the fifth mistake that I think a lot of people make, this is something that is crucial, especially when you only have that one golden opportunity to talk to someone like your crush or someone you want to be really close friends with, is to set up a second time to talk to them. A lot of times when you have that opportunity to talk to your crush, it's usually in the very beginning of school. You guys ask that simple question, what did you do over the summer? And now you have the opportunity to set up for something else, but you don't. You have that one conversation and it ends. Instead of leading into something like, hey, it was really cool seeing you and I want to do this again. When are you next free? Let's hang out during lunch or let's hang out after school. Just jumping right into it when everyone is fresh and excited to come off of summer is the best moment to strike, the best moment to kind of start setting things into motion. Because what you're really doing is you're setting the tone for that person to see that you are a more confident person. You're a person open to having conversations. You're a person that wants to take your relationship and their relationship to the next stage. But if you let the conversation linger on too long, you interrupt them, you run out of things to say, all those kind of things combined in one, on top of that, you don't set up for a next conversation, guess what? Things are going to go back to how they probably were in years past. You just kind of seeing that person walk by, you're afraid to talk to them, you don't know when the right opportunity is. This is the right opportunity. This is your golden moment. The beginning of the school year is the perfect time to put your confidence on display. And look, you might not always have the amount of time that you want to actually sit down and have a conversation with them. Maybe you're just passing them in the hall and that's your first interaction after the summer. Well, even in that moment, you might want to just quickly say to them something like, hey, it's really cool seeing you. I want to know what you did over the summer. What are you doing for lunch this week? What are you doing after school? Let's catch up. Let's just hang out and really talk things out. That's an opportunity for you to kind of set up for the next stage, even if you really only have that small window. And I would say that small little line works, even if they're with friends, even if they're talking to other people. Just jumping in, asking them how they're doing, telling them you want to catch up sometime soon is a good way to kind of set things up, to at least show them that you're a little more confident this year. Because ultimately, when it comes to starting any conversation after school begins, it all comes down to your confidence level. Do you feel comfortable talking to those people? Are you confident enough to carry a conversation? If you feel like you're able to avoid these mistakes, but you still want to learn how to start better conversations, check out the playlist over here where I talk more about starting conversations, DMing someone, how to just kind of get those words out of your mouth and get things going. Check out that playlist, guys, and also check out my 20 Icebreakers conversation starters right here. That's going to give you specific things to talk about. Both of those resources will be super helpful for you. On that note, guys, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.